Don't put that in. Cool. The Barnstormers are very special to me at this point because they recognized my talent and they could feel my passion for theater, and they have decided to run with it, and they've decided to allow me to direct shows, and I instantly felt like I was part of this family, and that's really how it feels. It feels like you're part of a family. Oh my goodness, have I forgotten my lines on stage many times. One of the productions of La Cage I did, the Dandons, who are the senator and his wife and daughter, they come in, there's 2 scenes in the apartment. There's one before dinner, they go to dinner, and then they have a scene after dinner. Well, one time I said the lines after dinner in the first scene before dinner. And thank goodness from the guy who played my George, because he took care of it. He just brought it all right back. They all looked at me like, what are you doing? But yes, I've forgotten my lines many times. The trick of that is, as an actor, if you know where you're going in the scene, you know where you're starting, and you know where you have to end, you can fill that in. You don't necessarily, you have to say the lines because that's respecting the author and the writer of the show. But you also, if you forget or you have something happens, you can move it along. You just have to move it along. A role that I've always dreamed of playing. Yes, there's a couple. And I've gotten to play several of them. But one of them would be Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors. The other would be the MC in Cabaret. And I tend to be drawn to female roles as a drag performer. And so I love to play, I want to say her name is Sophia, but I don't think that's right. But I would love to play her. She gets the best song. Probably the biggest lesson that theater's taught me is discipline. You have to be here. You have to show up. You have to be ready to work. There's no joke. It's as you've got to do it. And so when I took ballet lessons as a youngster, as a teenager, I learned from Mrs. Ray that you do it. There's no excuses. There's no anything. You just do it. Not only do you do it, but there's so many people that are relying on you. You have the company, you have the cast, the crew, and then let's not even mention the audience that's going to show up and pay money to come see you do this. So if you don't discipline yourself and prepare yourself, it's not going to work. It's just not. Even that theater magic we talked about last time is not going to work. You have to be disciplined and you have to be ready to work. Actors, as you could probably guess, are very temperamental people. And, they wear their emotions on their sleeve, literally. And I've always said this. As a nurse, I learned early on, you can always find a way of saying something to someone that's not going to hurt them. If you stop and think just for a moment about what you have to say, and I mean like you're fired, your mom's going to die, whatever it is. No, you don't get the part. You can find a way of saying that to them without hurting them. Or it'll sting a little less maybe. And they'll walk away respecting you because you were honest with them and you told them. So when I'm working with a young actor or someone who's not acted before, I compliment them first and tell them the good things they're doing. And then I say the one bad thing that I need to have tweaked. And they usually get it. They really do. It's rare that you'll find the actor who's just so set in his ways or her ways that they won't change if you need them to change. And I'm willing to do what they need to do. I'm willing to watch every version or every idea. I'm willing to go into every idea that they have. But if it doesn't work, it simply doesn't work, and you have to change it. You have to find a way to make it work. The difference between a good performance and a great performance has a lot to do with the audience. If you have a great audience that is, from the minute that that first note of the overture is played, you can hear it. You can feel it brimming in the theater. And that, as an actor, that gives your character life. You need that. That's why we're here. I'm here because I crave applause, and I crave laughter, and I crave that. It's part of my soul. And so a good performance one night that you could give the same performance. Well, first of all, no performance is exactly the same night from night, right? You're going to see a different show each night, really. But a good performance one night can turn into a great performance the next night if you have a really rich audience. And they're, Lacage here, you'd hear it, that orchestra, the overture would start, and you just hear the audience, wow, they just wake up and they're applauding and screaming and cheering, and and then throughout the whole show, that's exactly how they are. The thing too in rehearsals, when you're rehearsing a show, you rehearse with no audience. You just, it's like, and then the people that are here watching it, they laugh at your jokes, but now they've heard it 100 times. They know it's coming. It's like, it's not really the good joke it was. I mean, God love these people. They always laughed at my jokes. But when the audience is here, you have to prepare yourself for that, because sometimes they'll laugh for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You know what I mean? And you have to wait. You can't just start doing your line again or move on. You have to wait until they're done. It's a symbiotic relationship that you have with these people. It's you give and they give, and then they take and you take. What happens? It all falls on the director. It's the director's vision, and when you watch a show, I tend to kind of pick things apart just because I've done it so long. And you know immediately whether it was a good director or not a great director. If it's a director who's doing their own thing, or is it a director who's copying one that they've seen on Broadway, or that kind of a thing. So with Lend Me a Tenor, for instance, that is on opening night, when that final curtain closes and we're done, it's going to be my responsibility. I have to take responsibility for everything that happened. The good, the bad, the ugly. So if I get great reviews, if the show gets great reviews, then that's wonderful. If it doesn't get so great reviews, then I have to take that too. And this is my first show to direct. Even though I've been in theater my entire life, this is my directorial debut, as they say. And if nothing else, even if it gets a bad review, which I know it's not going to, because I know already we have a great show, but I'd be like, you know what? You worked hard and you did it, and you put something on that stage and you told the story. That's the most important thing. Is there a story being told, and can the audience follow it? That's ultimately what it's all about. So I'm very proud. Let me put it that way. We're still almost 3 weeks away from opening, but I'm very proud of what we have already. So I know it's going to be a wonderful show. And it's a collaborative effort. You have to remember that too. Yes, it all falls on the director for the responsibility of the show, but I couldn't have done this show without the actors and Jeremy and the other people from the company that have helped me. I mean, they've done so much to help me get through this, and and also knowing that we just closed Lacage. I had deaths in the family, and this kind of stuff, that they've all stepped up to the plate to make this work. I would say this is going to be one of the best experiences of your entire life. There's nothing like seeing people up on stage singing and dancing and hoofing it for you, and the excitement that builds inside of you is it's unreal. It's unimaginable unless you've done it. And if you do it, you'll never not do it again. Theater has taught me about life, like I said earlier, discipline, but it also it gives you a place to be. It gives you a place to be yourself, to just to let the love flow through you. You come in here and everybody gets hugs, and we all just love each other so much. And you see somebody do something great, and you can't wait to go tell them how amazing they are. And at first, when I first came here, I'm unknown to most of the people that are here, and that those first couple nights you're kind of scared. You know what I mean? Even though you've got the lead role and all this kind of stuff, and you're going to be great, they don't know you, and so they're all kind of checking you out, giving you the side eye, and this and that. And I said, and then all of a sudden, those people who were giving you the side eye are coming right up to you and saying, "You're amazing. You're amazing." And then and they're amazing too. It's just, and then when those ones that are so amazing, that have the most beautiful voice, or that they just can act their way out of a paper bag, when they come up to you and they say, we're so happy to have you here. That's it right there. That's the feather in your cap. That theater is what fills my soul. It just does. It makes me happier than anything else in life. It fills you with joy and love. Light. What can I say? I mean, it's an all-encompassing feeling. It takes your whole body, mind, spirit, everything to do it. So